Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently wondering just how many factories we want to keep on hand for ourselves right now. And I think that number is low, to be honest. I think the number is 4. So, the reason why I say I think the number is 4 is because that would allow us to pay out a high amount of dividends to investors, which is very good. That gives us that 35% construction speed bonus. That's a big deal. No doubt about that. So for now, we're going to tick forward. We need to get corporate domination finished up so that we can do that. Do we need to have more than 4? Yes. So that means that we want to have 5. Okay. So we don't want to grant out any investments right now. We have a number of those going on. Italy joined the Axis. Okay. So this is seeming like this is happening fairly historically. We're not on historical focuses, but yeah, the war is actually very thoroughly broken out. Okay, so that's, a big deal. We haven't been called into it. But Germany is declaring war on everyone, so that's exciting. We don't really care, though. We're just interested in making money. There's money to be made over here. So that is the goal. So at this point, we're still short on steel. This is because we have so much of an export focus, right? So we are currently on... Oh, this is a special trade law. I didn't realize that. That's 90% export focus. Resources to market, 90%. That's huge. So I would like to get off of civilian economy and move this direction. That would be a significant increase to our construction speed. So if we could jump straight to partial mobilization. Yeah. So we don't want to be at early mobilization because that's still the minus 10% malice. But if we can jump to partial mobilization, that'd be huge. The League of Nations is over. Yeah, that's not surprising. The Mexican Socialist Republic declared war on the United Kingdom. Well then, and the United States. Ethiopia joined the Czech Entente. US joined the Allies. So the US has joined very early this time. And this is because the scheme that actually was attempted historically worked out this time. Which is Germany attempted to get Mexico to join the Axis and attack the US. Historically, that didn't happen. But... Hold up, arms requests. No, we're not going to join this. So, that historically did not happen, but this time, it did. So the US joined very, very early. Is the US at war with Japan at this time? I don't know. They're working on War Plan Black. But the real question here is Argentina, Mexico, and Peru is all they're at war with for now. So that looks fine for the moment. They will likely join the other wars soon enough. But no, we are declining joining it into any of these wars. We've got other problems. Specifically, we don't have enough money. We need to make more money. That is our goal here. So we currently have 1 civilian factory, and this is going to give us 3 civilian factories. So this is going to finish 28 July 1939. We might have to do lesser dividends this year. Because I'm just thinking, we've got 138 days until the end of the fiscal year. We have to pay out some amount of dividends. So we might be forced to pay out normal dividends rather than large dividends here. There's corporate domination finishing. Let's see what our next options are. Okay, so this would change the debt brackets. That's fine. New economic policy would increase civilian factory construction speed, but it wouldn't give us any free factories. This would give us consumer goods factories factor reduction. Okay. Let's go ahead and run the new economic policy. Actually, yeah, let's do this for the civilian factory construction speed. That'll be fine. So at this point, I don't think there's a scenario where we are going to be able to pay out a high amount of dividends to investors. We've got 136 days. This ends in September. So let's take a quick peek here. This will complete in July. That would just be a straight-up cost of 4 factories, though. I think for the moment, we should say this year, we're going to do normal dividends. Last year, we did small dividends. This year, we can do normal dividends. Next year, we'll look to pay a high amount of dividends to investors. I think that's what we're going to do. Then the question is, do we want to funnel any of these factories that we have here? And I don't think we do at this moment. We're in the good tax bracket here, and we want to remain in this tax bracket. To be honest, even this tax bracket is fine. So either of those are okay for the moment. We don't want to be in... Well, we definitely don't want to be in this 4th tax bracket right now. But that number is going to change significantly. So that is understood for now. We can unlock traits in our military-industrial organizations. Do we actually care about this? Not really. But okay. Sure, that's fine for now. So that looks good. We're at 107 political power right now, and we'll let that continue to come up. We do need to bring up our stability. That is a significant thing that needs to happen, but I want to get our laws a little bit changed, specifically the civilian industry. I want to get us up to partial mobilization here so that we no longer have this 30% construction speed malice. That's going to be a big deal. When you combine that together with this 15% construction speed boost, that's kind of huge. And this will cut our expected consumer goods, so that will be good too. So we're going to have enough to do that here in just a couple of days. Looks great. And then we can focus on our stability, is the idea. Okay, so that's 112. We need 112.5. Okay, there we go. So we just switched over to partial mobilization here. And that's going to drop our consumer goods requirements a little bit, but more importantly, that's going to dramatically increase our construction speed here. So that looks fantastic. Yes. We've still got those upset Congress leaders, and the civilian economy is actually still in this. Oh, in Mysore, they have a civilian economy. Okay. That's noted. But we need to continue to construct externally there. But we don't have that. So we don't have that malice. We've only got that upset Congress leaders. So that's absolutely fine. Now, we have free military factories here, and we are producing a lot of basic infantry equipment right now. I'm thinking we could toss in a little bit more production there. The UK is still trying to call us to arms. Hilarious. That's not going to happen, UK. No, US. Get out of here. We are neutral, and we will remain neutral in this war. We have no plans on intervening here. None whatsoever. So this is going to be very awkward, right? Portugal is fighting anarchist Portugal. And also Spain. Czechoslovakia is down here. That's exciting. And this is also Aragon here, but France is invading Spain. But also so is Czechoslovakia. So, that's awkward. Czechoslovakia is in the Allies, are they not? Let's check here. They're in the Czech Entente, which actually, so is France. Okay, that's weird. Sure. That's a little spicy. So we need a new national focus here. We can do shareholder democracy to get us that sweet, sweet extra civilian factory, and that'll also get us some base stability. Party popularity stability modifier plus 22% would be potentially good. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but let's find out. We have a lot of negative stability right now. Ruling party popularity is currently 4.3. So this is going to boost it up by like 20-some% plus 3% for base value. So I think overall we're going to get 25% out of that, which is probably not enough, but it would definitely boost things anyway. Actually, that might get us up into positive numbers. That would be good to be in positive numbers, to be sure, but we've got a lot that we need to do. No doubt about that. Now, our manpower is negligible. We're not focused on that right now. So that sounds good for the moment. So we're going to be finishing up this construction in Mysore on... That seems absolutely fantastic. I want to check in on how they're doing on their autonomy, which we can actually see best from here. Okay, yeah. So they're going to become a integrated puppet here, and this would be a colony. So they're a puppet right now. An integrated puppet cannot declare wars, can decline call to war, blah, blah, blah. So they are still independent as an integrated puppet. Okay, and we'll need some political power to do that too. But we're working on all of these slowly. Yeah, the UK still wants us to join this war. No, not going to happen, UK. We are independent. Thank you very much. We've got money to make. So we are doing exactly that. Oh, we finished up a construction in Mysore. So that looks good. We're actually at 15 and 12 here. That's insane. Okay, so the French Commune have declared war on Africa Nova, who has joined the Axis. Awkwardness is definitely ensuing there, but it's not terribly surprising. Where is Africa Nova? Oh, up here. That's awkward. So yeah, things are very strange over here, for sure. The French Commune is doing pretty well, though. No doubt about that. They seem to have this pretty under control. So we're, again, not particularly concerned about that right now. The German Reich declared war on the Kingdom of Livonia, and keep in mind, we've only actually got 4 factories ourselves. However, we are getting 8 from trade right now. Plus, we're getting everything that we've invested in out over here, which is significant. They have a military factory up here in Balochistan. Okay, there's a lot of military factories up here. We're going to want to convert those, but that's more expensive than building new factories, so we're going to hold off on that for the moment. But we're definitely seeing good progress in all of this construction. So that looks great. And if we look here, we see 1 military factory, 2 military factories here. There's a military factory and a military factory. Yeah, I'm not terribly surprised about any of that. So that looks good for the moment. And we can start thinking, do we want to do any expansion? We can look at some of these states here. This is actually a decent state to expand to. Let's do it. So buy West Bengal from the British Raj. And then out over this way, this is a military factory. This one's a civilian, so we should probably consider buying that too, but we need political power for that. So political power is going to be a big lack for us. We're only gaining 0.19 per day right now, and a large amount of that is at upset Congress leaders and stability. But we're also getting this, right? Okay, so the French Commune has defeated Spain at this point. And it looks like Aragon is down here, Portugal is here, France took all of that. Okay, well, that's spicy. World tension is at 100%, so this isn't terribly shocking. So we've got free dockyards out over here. And we can toss our dockyards into, like, making some convoys. But we have a lack of steel, and this is not surprising. So, up over this direction, purchasing this state would not be bad. We do need political power for that. So let's give that a little bit. Libya? Okay. They're joining the Czech Entente when the Axis is declaring on them. That's a little awkward. Although Czechoslovakia is doing pretty well. Okay, that war is going oddly. No doubt about that. So there's shareholder democracy finishing up. That's great. That gives us a bunch of and daily support for unaligned, as well as a civilian factory. So we're, of course, very happy about that. So next up, we could go for debt manipulation, institutional money laundering. This will end up funneling industry to us. It'll remove a civilian factory in West Bengal. and that'll put a civilian factory in Bombay and give us a construction speed increase. So this allows us to funnel industry to ourselves, which is really weird, but it is money laundering, so I guess that makes sense. For now, I think we should probably go ahead and grab remove administration, or rather restrictive administration budget. So we'll take that for the moment. That looks good. Now we're currently at 5 civilian factories, and we could definitely funnel some industry, but I want to make a purchase here. So we're going to have to wait for somewhere less than 5 days. Okay, so we can do this now, and we wanted to purchase this state because it has a civilian factory in it. Okay, so we're going to buy that from the British Raj. There we go. Now, we've created some border gore over here. That's understood. There's just a military factory here, so that's a big part of the reason why. Okay, so things are looking pretty good for us as far as expansion goes. No doubt about that. Do we have anyone that we can release at this point? No, we don't. Okay. So that looks fine. We're going to leave our investments the way they are. That means, of course, that we are currently at 5 owned civilian factories because these were essentially one-for-one trades. So up over this direction, no. Although this state would be a great one to buy. We'll do that as soon as we've got the political power. That's going to take... So that's absolutely fine. We will get there. It'll take a bit, though. So I'm a little sad that we have not managed to bring our stability up as much as I thought we would. Yeah, this is not nearly as much ruling party popularity as I expected, but that's okay. We are going to need to work a lot on our stability. That's for sure. But we're seeing good construction output here. We're going to be done building in Mysore very soon. I'm wondering if we can maybe queue any more up there. The answer is currently no. Let's just go ahead and queue up the majority of these. So let's see. Shift-click to place the maximum number of buildings. Yes. So we're going to do that. I don't want to put this up at the top of the queue just yet, but we can just get those going. I don't know why we can... Why this is yellow hashed. It's only 20, actually. I don't know why we can't build more civilian factories there. That's a little odd. Huh. Well, for the time being, this is reasonably fine. We're going to continue to work on these constructions, and we're continuing at a fairly decent pace here. So we're building primarily in Mysore. That'll be done soon. Restrictive administration budget has been finished. And that, of course, grants us political power gain plus 10%, which is great. Consumer goods factories factor minus 10%. That's fantastic. And political advisor cost minus 33%. But that's only for 480 days. So this is not forever. And we need to keep that in mind. Death knell of the Raj. Ah. What would this actually... It would remove the marginalized Muslim community and annex the remnants of the Raj. Okay, so we definitely want to do that. So that gives us the ability to take that capital state that we haven't been able to take up until this point. So that's understood. Let's go ahead and do institutional money laundering. So that'll be absolutely excellent. And that means that the British Raj needs to have fewer than 5 remaining states. Now, currently it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's got a number of states yet. So we've got a ways to go on that, and political power is going to be our main penalty there. We'll get there. We will get there. So that sounds good. It'll take us a little while. Our next acquisition is going to be Delhi. So that sounds great. I'm not worried about the civilian factories, really, at this time. What I'm mostly concerned about currently... What I'm most concerned about currently is that we are not getting enough political power rolling in. So that's absolutely going to be a bit of an oucher for us, to be sure. So at this point, we can buy Delhi, which we should do. Excellent. So that sounds great. We now have Delhi. And we'll continue to take over territory here and here. until we can annex the British Raj. Okay, so Mexico has fallen, and the Mexican Republic has taken its place. That's not surprising, really. That's really, really not surprising. We'll continue to put some military factories in here. We're short on steel, and that's understood. But one thing I want to see here is, can we sell... Can we sell any of these... well, actually, do we have any spares? Yes, we do have some spare infantry equipment being stockpiled at this point. So my question is, can we begin to sell it? And the answer is probably. Buy equipment to supplement your domestic production or sell equipment to boost your construction speed. We have no ongoing contracts. We have equipment available to buy. But I want to sell equipment. Add equipment to market, and this is going to end up being this. Okay. So we'll add that. And that should be okay for now. So this is old equipment that we don't want to have around. There's a surplus of about 12.9k of that, and we definitely want to get rid of some of that. Now, our arms development technology is not fantastic at this time, so we're going to have to work on that eventually, but for the moment, this seems reasonably good. So we're going to continue to take over territory out over here, of course, and I want to continue to check. Yeah, this is just British Raj here. We're going to be able to release British Raj, but do we want to? Probably not, is my current thinking. So there's institutional money laundering happening. That's good. And next, we want to take debt manipulation. We cannot even take Death Knell of the Raj yet. So that's understood. We can go back and take privatized healthcare fairly early on here as well, or from fairly early on. But for now, I'm going to take debt manipulation. So that seems fine for the moment. And how are we doing on our factory count? So we currently own 4 factories. Noted. Ireland joined the Allies. Okay. And we're done constructing at this point in Mysore. So there's not really anything else that we can do here other than convert these military factories over to civilian. And we might actually want to do that. So if we were to head over here and convert these, are we not capable of converting them? Possibly. Yeah, I don't think we can convert these over, so we'll have to annex them. That's okay. So a purchase request has come through here. They are offering us... They want to buy 1 gun. Okay, we'll sell you 1 gun, but that's a little awkward. That's very awkward. Sure. So we've got enough at this point to purchase ourselves another piece of territory, and the question is, do we want to? So I'm just checking around over here to see if there are any civilian factories built up over this way, and the answer is no, there are not. What about in this state? This is a military factory. What about here? Actually, that's a civilian factory. So purchasing this isn't bad. There we go. That puts us at a net neutral amount of civilian factories. So then out over this way, we can see 2 civilian factories here, and this is a military factory. Okay, at some point we're going to have to start making actual investments, but for now, this has been quite free. Now, we are going to have political power going up to 10 again soon, and we'll purchase this state next with our 2 civilian factories. So that looks great. And we're just going to get all of these civilian factories built for now. We can also funnel industry to ourselves, which we probably should do. Oh, we have a new fiscal year here. Okay, so that's noted. I do want to do a high amount of dividends. So let's go ahead, and I'm actually not seeing the decision to funnel industry to ourselves here. Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. Well, that's fine for now. We'll continue to proceed here until we've got the political power that we need to make this purchase. I want to do that yet this episode, but it is time to put a cut in here. So let's just get that last little bit. There we go. And there's East Bengal. Beautiful. So we essentially traded 1 civilian factory for 2 civilian factories. Beautiful. And that's absolutely fine. So next episode, we're going to continue to expand, but we're going to have to start getting some areas that are a little bit less good of an investment, right? A little less free. So that's understood. You can leave your offerings. Oh, and I want to pay high dividends to investors. There we go. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge SQL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.